Okay, we have the window out, and go ahead and take time to get this window as clean as you possibly can, especially at the edges where it would normally seat in the rubber seal. It's almost impossible to clean it well in the car, so go on and take your time to get it as clean as you can now. And this is the old seal we're going to put back on, because a new seal is very expensive, and if your old one is still in fairly decent shape, you might want to reuse it. It just fits. There's a channel where you'll fit this in. You want to go ahead and seat it. I want to also condition the seal before, get it as clean as well. The cleaner the seal in the window and the channel in the body is, the least likely you're going to have for a leak later on when you get this thing in. So, okay, so there we are, seated on the glass, and we're going to flip it over. Now we're going to insert our paracord. Okay, now we have the window turned over. This is the lip that will have to fold inside the car and sandwich the body edge right here. So get you some nylon rope. I'd go with something that's coated so that it will actually slip, as opposed to grip and tear the seam or the seal. This is the bottom of the window, this is the top. Now what I like to do is start about midway here in the bottom, and you want to insert your cord as deep as you can into this slit that's going to fit the edge of the body. Okay, and this is a closer view of the inside of the seal, and it's this first major lip here that you want to insert your cord in. This is the piece that will fold inside your car, and that's where you want to run the cable, or cord I should say, as deep as you can. Make sure it's nice and tucked in there, and lap up a little bit here, about 6 inches or so, whatever. That's why I like to do this in the middle. It definitely don't start and stop this in one of the corners. These are your tough parts to get in. So I have my start and my finish here inserted. Okay, now you're going to want to lubricate the seal. I'm going to use petroleum jelly, but we want to be able to get this lip here where it will slide over the sheet metal, or the metal I should say, and not grip and tear. So just take your time here. Rub this down. You can be generous with it, just wipe off the excess once the window is in place. Really pay attention to the corners, because once you get to the cord pulling through, the corners are the areas that are really tricky. Just this corner, and of course the other one that's a sharp corner. I think I'll even take some and kind of put it inside the lip edge here, so that when you're pulling the cable out, it doesn't tend to grab the dry rubber and then tear instead of slide. That's what you don't want. Okay, so we got all that lubricated. We're going to flip it over, back over. Now we're back to the outside of the window, and we're going to insert our trim now. Now this gets a little tricky because I cannot imagine trying to put this trim in with the window already set. Some people can do it, but I have better luck putting it in right now than letting it set in. You can actually feel it kind of pop into place. You don't have to do the corners, but we can. There we go. Alright, so that one's pressed in. Make absolutely sure it's seated. Because if you get the window in and this pops loose or it's not seated at one spot, you're going to have to pull it back out and do it again. So, we also want to go on and do the bottom here. You can physically feel this thing kind of snap when it seats properly. Okay, there we go. Okay, before I tried this too, I went ahead and lubricated this edge of the window where the window will actually end up sitting. And this is what I've done to eliminate standing water. Is I figured where the standing water would normally puddle in this channel and drilled a drain hole in the body. And of course that's just something I did. So far I'm hoping that it's going to minimize any future rust issue that I might have, but that way the water doesn't just puddle and stay there. But at any rate, go ahead and lubricate this edge all the way around, and then we'll be ready to set the window in. Okay, we got the window pushed in place. I'm going to use a helper to, as I pull the string, he will be pushing in the same time in the same spot, and we'll just, as we pull, this will actually lift the lip over the body. So let's see if we can get this done.
Not sure which way I need to pull it, and there you go. Okay, what's it look like?
Okay, on the second try, because the first time I had this piece of trim right here that popped out of the seal, and to take the window out, you have to pull the metal trim or the plastic trim, whatever your car has, out, because the trim does a lot as far as putting tension between the body and the glass. So once you pull the trim out, it's pretty easy to push the window out yourself from the inside. So anyways, on the second try, this one went in good. I wish I could have shown you, but as you're pulling the string on the inside, have somebody push on the outside, and you can actually see the edge of the, and my camera I don't think is going to focus, but you'll actually see the edge of the rubber being pulled down into the channel of the body. And then to double check, just make sure that you don't have any body edge showing around the window, so just run your fingers around. And this one finally, on my second try, fit well. So it's got all kinds of Vaseline all over it, which can be cleaned, but at least you're in. And that at least is how I put a quarter window in. And this piece and the piece down here can now be added after the fact with some contact cement, or because they're pretty bad about just flying off the car at some point. But hope this helps. Talk to you later.